These are 10 of my favorite sneaker pickups of 2024 so far. And I'll be real with you, it was really hard to pick just 10. And so because of that, there's a couple honorable mentions on the list. More than a couple. There's a bunch. And I didn't even include some of the more GR running focus style sneakers. I only went for heat. So this entire list, in my opinion, is made up of heat. Hopefully you guys appreciate that, because I could have dropped a whole list with like every On sneaker that I got, every New Balance, every shoe that I've been wearing a bunch. But I decided to spare you guys and give you a much more manageable video with all of the fire sneakers that I picked up. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. But let's start things off with the honorable mentions. And the first pair is the J-Tip Saucony Pro Grid 9. So this is actually my first pair of J-Tip Sauconys. I didn't hit on any of the other releases, and I literally just got these in this morning, but the reason I'm putting them on the list is because I actually really like them a lot. Now to be fair, I haven't rocked these yet, so that's why I didn't put them on the actual top 10, because I just have no experience in these. They could be uncomfortable. I doubt it, because Sauconys are usually very comfortable. And also, it's kind of a wild colorway. But man, is it crazy. Saucony and J-Tips have been nailing it with their collaborations. They're all incredibly popular, and they're all very clean and very wild looking. On this particular colorway, you've got what looks like a semi-translucent mesh upper with blue hits and pink hits and green hits and tan hits. It's just like this mashup of different colors that make it a wildly interesting pair of sneakers that I think if you throw on, people will be like, what are those? But in a good way, you know what I mean? I wasn't really familiar with J-Tips before his collaborations with Saucony, but I've kind of been watching what he's been doing since then, and every one has been really, really clean. Like, I would rock every single one of those colorways. I just grabbed this one because this is the one that I like the best out of the two that released on release day, and I'm super stoked to have it. So excited to rock it, excited to throw it on feet. Now, I don't know if these are still available online. I think they have sold out. If you guys want to check them out, make sure to check them out through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. And actually, every shoe that I talk about in today's video, I'll make sure to link through the YouTube shopping tab if you want to grab any of them, because they're all fire, and I don't think any of them are that expensive. I think sneaker resale prices have just plummeted this year, so check them out. Really quick though, I want to mention that I've teamed up with Core to give away a $200 StockX gift card, which you could use to buy really anything in today's video. We're dropping 2 Core badges, and all you need to do to enter the giveaway is to get both Core badges. The first one is linked in the top of the description below, and the second one will be in a future video, so stay tuned for that. And a winner will be randomly selected from the people who collect all the badges. So good luck, grab your badges, again, linked in the top of the description below. The next honorable mention is kind of 2 sneakers. We've got the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low Canary and the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low Medium Olive. So these are 2 out of the 3 Air Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott collabs that are dropping this year. We've also got an all brown colorway, which is like, which I might grab just for the review, but I don't plan on keeping. These 2 are really, really cool because one, you've got the medium olive colorway, which I actually just dropped a review on. That is sort of a classic Travis Scott colorway and color blocking. And it's also more widely available than a lot of the previous Travis Scotts. And then you've got a completely different take on Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Lows with the Canaries, which are based off of Travis Scott's high school, Elkins High. And I actually think I prefer these. I've rocked these way more because I've had these longer, but I also prefer these because it's like a perfect summer shoe and it's wildly different. You've got this bright yellow overlay, you've got blue hits, you've got red hits, you've got a gum outsole, which is sick. I mean, I just really like it. Plus, it's not too expensive. It's like $350, $320. I mean, if you're looking for just a wild pair of sneakers, like a bright yellow pair of shoes, it's hard not to go with a pair of Travis's. That being said, both of these shoes are very clean for different reasons. The medium olives are obviously easier to rock and also will probably be more popular and more expensive as the months go on just because they're more wearable, but there's something about this pair, man. I just love it. The final honorable mention is the Artifact Nike Dunk Low Genesis in the Ghost colorway. So this shoe is absolutely wild. It's actually a complete redesign of the Nike Dunk Low. It's not a version of the Nike Dunk Low, it's a whole new silhouette. And the design of this shoe is based on an NFT. This is the first time, I think, that an NFT came out and then they released a physical product based on the NFT versus the other way around. Usually you got a physical product and then you've got an NFT based on that physical product. In this case, you've got a shoe based on a digital product, which is super, super cool. So this shoe I actually got gifted to me from Artifact, this one and the Clone X colorway, which is a black and red colorway. I already had the Void, which is a black and purple colorway, and I really wanted this shoe and they were nice enough to send this pair my way, which I can't thank them enough for. It's wild. But this is by far my favorite Artifact Nike Dunk Low. The colorway is super easy to rock. It's gray and white. You've got the really cool like vial in the tongue, which actually is the detail that changes the color of the shoe in the NFT or the digital product or whatever you want to call it. In this shoe, obviously, it doesn't change the color of the shoe. But it is removable, which is cool. I don't want to pull it out because I'm going to lose it if I do. But there you go. There's also these removable heel counter and tongue accents, which you can actually 3D print new ones and attach them to the shoe. I think they actually had a contest where you could 3D print new parts of the shoe, like new heel tabs, and attach them to the shoe, and the winner would get something. I don't know what it was. But you also have an RFID chip right there in the heel to verify that this is your shoe, which is pretty rad. And all around, I mean, it's different. Like, you've got the Artifact logo as a Nike swoosh on the medial side, which I think is super cool. I wish this was the main logo on the shoe because I actually like it better than the Nike swoosh. And when you're rocking these, no one's gonna be like, I've seen those before, because they haven't. This shoe is so different than anything else that Nike makes. It's also kind of heavy too, because there's so much going on. But yeah, huge thank you to Artifact for these. I like all the shoes that they've released, but this one is my personal favorite, so that's why this one made the list. And it's also stupid limited. Like, this is one of the most limited shoes that I have. Actually, the Clone X might be the most limited, but this one's close. There's like maybe 5,000 pairs of these, and oddly enough, the resale price is not that crazy. So if you want to grab a pair of these, I'd suggest grabbing them now through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen rather than waiting, because I think the price is gonna go up, personally. Outside of sneakers, but kind of related to sneakers, is another one of my favorite pickups of the month, and that is the brand new Apothecary Experimental Collection. Yes, I realize I own Apothecary, so I kind of just have the socks already, but still kind of a pickup. This collection drops today on apothecary.com, linked in the description below. There are 4 socks. We've got color changing socks, we've got glow in the dark socks, we've got 3M socks. It's a fire collection. Make sure to check it all out, top of the description below. But it's been a minute since we've dropped any experimental socks, like the color changing ones or the glow in the dark ones or the reflective ones, so I'm really excited about this drop, and if you guys want to check it out, again, it's linked in the top of the description below. Number 10, the Nike Kobe 4 Girl Dad. So this colorway released to commemorate the bond between Kobe Bryant and his daughters, specifically Gigi, who also passed away in the helicopter accident back in 2020. The colorway of this shoe is inspired by what Kobe Bryant was wearing in the last photo that they took together, which was some Eagles gear, so you've got the Eagles green, and then you've also got Girl Dad embroidered into the back of the tongue, and of course a metallic silver heel counter. But the reason that I like this shoe so much and it made the list is obviously because of that, but also because I, this year, became a girl dad, and it's really cool that Nike decided to release this shoe the same year that I became a girl dad. I just had my daughter back in beginning of the year, and the release of this shoe just kind of coincided with that, so it was kind of a wild coincidence. And so for me, the shoe has a little bit more of a extra meaning because it's the girl dad Kobe's, and I think that's really, really cool. So yeah, very cool pair of sneakers, and I love that girl dad detail on the back of the tongue. Awesome. Number 9, the Trophy Room Air Jordan 1 Low Away. This is probably my favorite Trophy Room collaboration ever released. I love the inspiration. It's inspired by the classic Michael Jordan Fleer rookie card, and I love the materials used on this shoe, and also the colorway, of course. I'm a huge Air Jordan 1 fan. You guys know that. Air Jordan 1 Lows are just a little brother, I guess, or a little cousin, or just the cut-off version of the Air Jordan 1, so I'm already a fan of this shoe, regardless of the colorway, just because of the silhouette. But they decided to make this colorway a classic white, black, and red Air Jordan sneaker with some cool hits like the yellow accents and the blue accents. If you weren't aware, Trophy Room is a store started by Michael Jordan's son, Marcus Jordan, so it's sort of a collaboration that's kept it in the family. You've got the Trophy Room logo embroidered into the lateral side, you've got this gold wings logo on the heel, and Michael Jordan's signature right there embroidered into what seems to be kind of a corduroy or denim heel area. I'm not sure exactly what material that is. You've also got satin hits, you've got nubuck hits, you've got an embroidered Nike swoosh. It's all around just a different take on the Air Jordan 1, and it's done really, really well. There's also the home colorway, which I believe is sort of a flipped color. You've got a white Nike swoosh and then some blue accents, at least on the edges of the paneling. And that pair goes for a lot more because I think it was like stupid limited. This pair is more of the GR release, as GR as a Trophy Room collaboration can be. And like I said, I think this is my favorite Trophy Room collab. I like it better than the Freeze Out colorway, the first Air Jordan 1s that they dropped, and definitely better than, you know, the 6s and, or was it the 7s? I don't remember what the other collab was. There's more than that, obviously. The 5s are cool. But for me, this is it. I love it. The only Trophy Rooms I have, and I think it's just straight fire, and the resale price has dropped significantly since when I bought these. So that sucks, but I have gotten some good wear out of them, as you can tell from the fraying edges of the satin and also the creases in the satin. Satin apparently just doesn't wear that well, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Number 8, the Bodega Asics Gel-Kayano 20 Small Wins Add Up. So I've become a huge Asics fan over the last year and a half, and the fact that Bodega is dropping just incredibly clean collaborations with Asics is a dream come true to me. For example, this shoe is a silhouette that I've never owned, the Gel-Kayano 20s. My favorite Asics silhouette is the Gel-Kayano 14s, which I grabbed last year. I think it was on my list last year, my top favorite pickups or whatever. This shoe though is a newer version of that sneaker, and it's obviously a collaboration, but the colors that Bodega used on this collab are incredible. You've got this really toned down monochromatic upper with tans and grays and some hits of yellow, but then you've also got these crazy pops of color like the neon green on the sock liner, and then of course the yellow, which I already mentioned, that's also on the Asics logo on the midfoot of the shoe. Oh, and also the bright green hits on the Asics gel in the midsole of the shoe that make it pretty soft underfoot. All around, this shoe not only looks good, it's a little toned down, which I like. I love the fact that this shoe is sort of an if you know, you know collaboration. I love when brands do that. And Bodega being one of my favorite collaborators of all time, they always kill it, and they drop collabs on every brand and sneaker that's been out there. In fact, they just sent me this, the brand new Bodega Crocs All-Terrain collaboration, which is crazy. I probably won't do a full review on this, but I will probably drop a YouTube short short or something going over the different details. But they're always dropping wild collaborations. They're always killing it. Huge shout out to Bodega, and thank you so much for the pairs that you sent over my way. I'm just not surprised by their heat anymore. They just drop fire after fire after fire, and this is another example of that. And I have rocked this shoe a couple times, not a bunch though, because I just started wearing all of the sneakers in my collection, a different shoe every day. I'm posting them on Instagram at @RealSethFowler on my stories, so you can check out what pair I'm rocking today. And my goal is to wear every pair in my collection without repeating, and it's gonna take a while because I think I have over 100 pairs at the moment. This pair I've already worn, and unfortunately I probably can't wear it again, at least not on Instagram, until I'm done with that. But I plan to rock these again in the future for sure. And it's just another example of a great Asics shoe, very comfortable, and a great Bodega collaboration. So if you're interested in grabbing a pair of hyped up Asics or trying a pair of Bodegas or a Bodega collaboration, get this one. This one's fire. I'm actually not sure what the resale price on these is. It could be anything. If you guys want to check them out, YouTube shopping tab right there. Not bad. Definitely over retail, but not too bad. Number 7, the Ma Maniére Air Jordan 4 while you were sleeping. I'll be real with you. Before I bought these shoes, the Ma Maniére 3s would have been on the list, probably at the number 10 spot, but these guys edged them out because of how clean they are in person. I did not think I was gonna like these as much as I do. So the Ma Maniére 4 while you were sleepings just recently released and are still pretty much widely available at sneaker stores and also on the Sneakers app. I mean, it's not the easiest shoe to grab. You can't walk into your local Foot Locker and grab them, but if you wanna grab these, you can grab them for pretty much around retail on resale sites through the YouTube shopping tab or at your local sneaker store or even on the Sneakers app in most men's sizes. Now with that being said, this is technically a women's shoe, so men's sizing is a little funky. For example, I'm a size 9, and when it comes to men's shoes, and I had to grab this in a size 10.5 women's, but by now a lot of you guys are probably used to that because a lot of shoes that Jordan Brand releases these days are women's shoes. But that doesn't deter most people. I think it's good that Jordan Brand is releasing wider size ranges of shoes. I think the shoe drops up to a size 16 women's, which might be a size 14.5 men's, I'm pretty sure. And honestly, I think if you have a chance to grab these for a good price, I'd say pick them up. These shoes are incredibly fire. I like these better than the original Air Jordan 4s. They come with this beautiful, like, light pink upper, accented by suede around the toe. You've got purple hits, you've got cream hits, you've got black hits. Of course, you've got your quilted sock liner. The quality of this shoe is just ridiculous, and it looks amazing. Like, this is probably... It's not going to beat out like the Military Blues or the Bred 4s because those are just OG classics, but it's probably my favorite pair of Air Jordan 4s outside of those, and might even be a pair that I throw on more in the future. I love the monochromatic look. I love how clean it is. I love just the use of color that you don't usually see on a pair of Jordan 4s or really any Jordans. You never get this sort of like light lilac or what do they call it? Something bone, something stone. Fossil stone is the official name, which is interesting. I guess it is kind of a fossil stone color. I don't know. But either way, the colorway on this shoe is amazing. The materials are amazing. I absolutely recommend picking this shoe up, especially for the price that you can probably grab it for. I would say if you want to grab these, they might be worth checking out through resale because resale might be cheaper than retail price, at least in the future. I don't know if it is at the moment. You can check out right now. I think these might be cheaper than retail in a couple weeks, if not right now, or depending on when you watch this video. I don't know. And my plan is in the next couple weeks, I'm actually gonna go to the Nike outlet because I found Ma Maniére 3s at the Nike outlet a couple weeks ago and see if I can find these, because I wouldn't be surprised if these end up at the outlet as returns or something like that. So crazy to say that a pair of Air Jordan 4 collaborations are sitting, but I definitely recommend picking them up. They are so clean. Number 6, the Air Jordan 1 Black Toe Reimagined. So excited for this release. I wanted to double up. I wanted to grab my wife a pair. We even had a pair of socks specifically designed by Apothecary, my sock brand, to match this pair of shoes that was supposed to release on release day. But now the shoe has been pushed from October 18th to sometime in 2025. So we have to wait that much longer for what I think is one of the best releases of the year. Now, if you caught my review, you know that this Air Jordan text on the side of the shoe is sort of the original way that this sneaker looked, at least back before the sneaker actually released. This is what Michael Jordan wore in court a couple times, and then he wore in that iconic Jumpman photo in front of Chicago. But people don't seem to love this Air Jordan text because they're not used to it. And I get it. I think the Wings logo does look better overall, but when it comes to the history of the sneaker, it's cool to have a pair of these that feature that detail. Plus, the black toe ones are one of my favorite Air Jordan 1 colorways. It goes Breds, Chicago's, then black toe ones. This shoe is just a classic Air Jordan 1 colorway. You got the red, you got the black, you got the white, you got this aged midsole, which is not true to the original, but it does look good with this shoe. And of course, now on the 2024 version, you've got the Air Jordan text. Also, on the left shoe from the pair, you actually have a note from Michael Jordan with Michael Jordan's signature, and they made it a super subtle detail that you might not even be able to see on camera. But that's because the pair that he wore during a game, he actually gave to one of his friends, and he signed it exactly how it's signed on the shoe. So there's only like less than 10 pairs of these in existence, most likely. and one of Michael Jordan's friends has it and has a game-worn pair, and it's signed by Michael Jordan, which makes it probably one of the most valuable sneakers of all time. But it's really cool that Jordan Brand is dropping a sneaker like this. It really leans into their history. It's unapologetic about changing a detail that everyone loves, and I like it. I really do like it. Obviously, yes, visually I prefer the Wings logo, but for the story, for the history, and the fact that when you wear these with long pants, you can't even see what's up there. This is one of my favorite releases of the year, and I am not mad that they switched things up. I think it's fire. I'm still not used to the release date changing. I just called it one of my favorite sneaker releases of the year. It's one of my favorite pickups of the year. This whole video is my favorite pickups of the year. I don't know. I guess it's not gonna release till next year, which is sad. Number 5, the Air Jordan 4 Military Blue and Bread Reimagined. All right, I get it. This is kind of cheating. I totally understand. But these shoes are both fire, and I feel like I like these shoes both equally. And both of these colorways are OG colorways, like OG Air Jordan 4s. This one, maybe not so much because it's a reimagined version, but still the colorway itself is OG. And in terms of hype, they both seem pretty similar. And like I said before, it's really hard to fit all my favorite sneaker pickups of the year and sneaker releases of the year in one top 10 video, so I'm gonna lump some of them together like these, and I feel like that's fair. And it's my list, so I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't care what you say. So the Military Blue 4s were the most recent release of the two. This shoe comes in a white leather upper accented by blue hits, and the reason I love this OG colorway, besides the fact that it's a classic piece of Jordan history, is because you don't get a lot of blue Jordan 4s. I mean, you do get some blue Jordan 1s and some blue Jordan 3s. I mean, I guess there's blue Jordans for pretty much every model, but they're harder to come by than black and red or white and red Jordans. So this pair is one of my most worn pairs from this year. You can see it's pretty beat, not beat, but dirty. Dirty for sure. And I love to throw this shoe on. It's super easy to rock with shorts or long pants. It doesn't matter. Same sort of thing goes for the Bread Reimagined. I don't wear these as much, I'll be honest with you. However, they still look very clean. You still got the classic bread colorway. The only difference, obviously, between this and the actual OGs is the fact that they switched out the nubuck upper, or I guess the suede upper, to a leather upper, which I don't think is a bad change. I actually really like the way the shoe looks. The black is clean, very wearable, and you've got your red hits, and it's a relatively comfortable pair of super retro Jordans. I'd say about as comfortable as the 3s, which to be fair aren't that comfortable if you guys saw my top 10 Air Jordan comfort list. But they both feature the Nike Air on the heel, and they both apparently are similar to the OG shape. Apparently, I don't know how true that actually is, but I always take when brands say that with a grain of salt, because realistically, do people even want the OG shape? I don't know. I do, but not everybody does, so I think they're trying to give people the best of both worlds, a shape that they're used to and also something that's more similar to the OG than recent releases. That said, they're both must-cops in my opinion, especially if you're a Jordan fan, and I like them both equally. Number 4, the Adidas Gazelle Indoor Bad Bunny. So I'm doing it again. I'm putting 2 shoes on the list when I probably should only put 1, but I'm putting both colorways of the Bad Bunny Adidas Gazelle Indoors because they're both fire. I've worn them both a bunch, and I like them both pretty much equally. So this shoe is a modification of the standard Adidas Gazelles. The Gazelles are also one of my favorite Adidas models, at least Adidas classic models. And this shoe features a leather upper instead of suede, or in this case, more of a nubuck upper. You've also got this asymmetrical toe area, which is different than the original Gazelles, and the shape is a little bit wider, which actually makes them more comfortable on feet. And of course, this is a Bad Bunny collaboration. I'm a pretty big Bad Bunny fan, as big as I can be without understanding the lyrics, but I really do like Bad Bunny, and I really like his collaborations, and both of these colorways are absolutely fire. You've got the San Juan that comes in blue, and the Benito colorway, which is his first name, that comes in more of a classic black, white, and gum color. And I really love this sort of low-key Adidas classic vibe. Like, you can throw these on with anything, it'll look good. This is my go-to Adidas sneaker whenever I want to rock a pair of Adidas sneakers and go for that Euro vibe, I guess. You also have a size tag on the heel, which is actually probably my least favorite detail. It's kind of a weird choice, but it doesn't ruin the shoe for me. Now, obviously, because these are a Bad Bunny collaboration, there is some hype behind them. The blue pair more so than the Benito colorway. The San Juan colorway I think resells for like $200, even though it's a $140 shoe, and then the Benito colorway probably goes for around retail. You can check them out through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen to check resale prices. I'm not sure what they're gonna be at the time that you're watching this video, but right now, that's about what they go for. And honestly, if you're looking for a new pair of Adidas sneakers to rock on the daily, either one of these are a great way to go. I'd probably recommend this one because it's easier to wear with everything, but if you can rock the San Juans, go for it. Comfort-wise, they're not bad. They do fit wider than a standard pair of Gazelles because they are a wider cut, but there is really no padding in the midsole, so just be prepared for that if you like really soft and well-cushioned shoes. But overall, you can't go wrong with them. I love this as my classic Adidas go-to, and I'm gonna rock these both a bunch more. Number 3, the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement 2024. So I just dropped a review on the sneaker. If you guys wanna check it out, there will be a link at the top of the screen. But this shoe is one of my favorite sneakers of all time. For me, it goes red ones, possibly Chicago's at number 2, and then these. These might be number 2 though. It kind of goes back and forth between the Chicago ones and these at the number 2 spot. But this shoe is absolutely incredible. It's a classic Air Jordan sneaker. It first released back in 1988, and now in 2024 we're getting the 7th release of the Black Cement 3s. It's actually the 6th retro, but the 7th overall release. Now to be fair, like I said in my review, it's not a one-to-one remake of the original. The shape is not exactly right, but it is still close-ish to the OG. And it's very similar to the 2018 pair if you had that pair. I mean, it's almost identical to the 2018 pair except with some differences in the elephant print and in the shape of the tongue. But I mean, let's be real. If you're a Jordan fan, you can't go wrong with a pair of Black Cement 3s. This shoe is incredibly wearable, incredibly clean, and it's one of those classic, iconic Air Jordan silhouettes and colorways that every sneakerhead has to have if you're a Jordan fan. And in 2024, apparently they're dropping a bunch of them, so if you want a pair of these, I'd say this is the year to grab them, maybe double up. If you haven't yet, just because I didn't double up in the 2018 pair and regretted it until like 6 months ago when they announced this one, because I wanted a new pair that wasn't completely beat. My 2018 pair is beat, and now I have it. So maybe don't double up. I don't know when they're retroing these again though, so it might be a while. Who knows? Quality-wise, it's fine. It's nothing special. Obviously, you've got a lot of variation in the elephant print. It's also not as deep or as dark as the 2018 pair, which I think is actually true to the OG, but some people just don't like it. There's not really much else to say about the Black Cement 3s. I mean, it's a classic sneaker. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I'd say grab it if you can, because even though there's going to be a lot of these, they're going to be very popular and probably not the easiest shoe in the world to get. It's probably going to be similar to the Bread Reimagined 4s and the Military Blue 4s in terms of popularity. Maybe even more so. Number 2, the Nike Zoom Vomero 5 Supersonic. I've had tons of Vomero 5s over the last couple years, but this is the only colorway that I really felt like I needed and I was willing to pay resale for. I think I bought this pair for like $200. Resale price or retail price is $160. So it's not like a huge markup, but it is a markup. And the reason I grabbed this shoe is because I just think it's an incredibly clean colorway. You've got this tan mesh upper, accented by some tan hits, some reflective hits, white on the Nike swoosh, and then of course black on the toe, around the heel, and in the sock liner of the shoe. And a detail that I literally did not realize it had until I actually got this shoe in hand, wore it a couple times, and then was outside at night one time and looked down and saw that it actually glows in the dark. Midfoot cage of the shoe actually glows blue. I think there are other parts of the shoe that glow blue. I don't remember exactly which ones they are, but it is wild and it's a very, very strong glow. And actually now the blue Vomero 5 on the tongue and on the insole makes sense. I was wondering why they were there because there's no blue hits on the shoe. Turns out it's because it glows blue. I didn't know. But even if you don't like the Supersonic colorway, the Vomero 5 is an absolutely incredible sneaker. It first released back in the 2000s as a running sneaker, and then was brought back in 2019 as part of the A Cold Wall collaboration. And now we're just getting tons of pairs of this shoe, and it's become like this huge lifestyle hit. And I'm pretty sure you can grab it in almost every colorway conceivable. Like, they've dropped so many colorways of this shoe, and it's pretty easy to find at like Nike outlets or Foot Lockers or wherever, even on sale too. But this colorway, for some reason, is the most popular. At least in terms of like regular GR colorways, and because of that you'd have to pay resale for it. But I've been wearing the sneaker a bunch, like a bunch. It's been my daily sneaker. Obviously I do try and wear a new sneaker every day, but this is the shoe that I throw on when I get home and I need to go back out to the store, or I think I actually wore this to a wedding a couple weekends ago. So it's not beat yet, but it's getting to that point. I definitely got to clean it up with some apothecary wipes. Incredibly comfortable. You've got Cushlon foam in the midsole and a Zoom Air unit, and the upper is lightweight and breathable. And it looks amazing. That's the main thing. It looks amazing. I would wear a sneaker even if it's stupid uncomfortable if it looks really, really good. I hate to admit it, but it's true. This shoe is a bit of both. It's comfortable and it's good looking. Can't recommend it enough. Number 1, the Nike SB Dunk Low Futura. Yeah, you probably saw this coming. This is my sneaker of the year. I'm not gonna lie. And so far, nothing that's been announced or that's released has come close to beating this shoe for me. This shoe is just... it's a top. So as you can see, I've been wearing this shoe a bunch, and that's because even though it's a wild and crazy looking Nike SB Dunk Low collaboration, it's actually surprisingly wearable specifically for summer and even possibly winter. You've got some fall colors in there too. You can rock it all year round. If you're not familiar with this shoe, this is a collaboration with legendary artist Futura, who's also worked with Nike on some other incredible and iconic collaborations, some of which go for tens of thousands of dollars. And this is actually one of the only reasonably attainable pairs. I think I bought my pair for, well, I did buy it for way too much, but now you can grab pairs for like $350, $400. You can check them out through the links in the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. But this shoe has been my go-to, and for me this is kind of a return to those classic and iconic Nike SB Dunk Low collaborations that were such a staple of the mid-2000s and early 2010s. And yes, we have had some other great Nike SB Dunk Low collabs recently, but this one, in my opinion, is by far the best. The overlays of this sneaker feature Futura's art. You've got some really interesting asymmetrical details like the stitching, which is only on the right shoe on the medial side. You've got this little red metal eyelet right there, which is kind of random. I love the placement. You've got double colored laces, which are cool, And then of course the shoe is an entirely seemingly canvas makeup, which I didn't like at first, but the more that I wore the shoe, the more I'm like, okay, this flexes well, it feels good on foot, it actually doesn't crease as badly as leather does, so it's a shoe that may have more longevity, and I'm also not as worried about getting wet. Not that I'm trying to get this shoe wet, but if I did get it wet, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Obviously, you've got Futura's signature right there on the heel of the lateral side, and then the iconic Futura Laboratories logo right there on the medial side, which I love. I never thought I'd have a sneaker with this logo on it. I think the last pair that dropped that had this logo was the off-whites, the Dunks that there's like maybe 20 pairs of that are going for like $20,000. Not saying that I want the shoe just because of the hype, but it is cool to have that. And as someone who's grown up loving Nike SB Dunk lows but could never really have any of the crazy collaborations, having a detail that was such a staple of some of those super hyped up pairs is cool. Also, the outsole is like icy blue, which you can see Futura's signature right through the bottom of it. All around, just a beautifully made sneaker. It's crazy colored, which I really like, but you can also rock it with a more toned down fit, because this would be the eye-catching accent piece, or if you want to match, you know, one of the colors on the shoe, you can. It's an awesome collab, and again, not to ruin it, even though I've talked about it a million different times, this is my sneaker of the year, and unless something absolutely amazing drops before the end of the year, this is gonna be it for me. So, and actually, if you've watched all the way to the end of the video, let me know in the comment section down below what your sneaker of the year is. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.